Hey guys, so I got it. The third and final 12 Kingdoms Blu-ray for 20 bucks, but not from eStocks. Got it from another seller, Alamoina, on eBay, and the discs are in pretty good, impeccable condition. However, and this is not at the fault of the seller, the very first disc, there is some circular scratches. I call them scratches loosely because when I look at them very closely, they look like almost little tiny dots. It's kind of weird, but it has caused an issue with playback. The disc itself looks impeccable, other than those little tiny circular scratches around the disc. And they're dots too, so I think it has something to do with equipment failure, which, again, not at the fault of the seller. This was an extremely good deal. The rest of the Blu-ray plays just fine. The other two Blu-rays play just fine. However, as I'll show you in this demonstration, there's more to it than that.
Sundown. Sorry you returned to the main house. I see. As expected, the provincial army didn't move.
Yes, it will be difficult to mobilize the tiles of provincial army to capture Shoko.
I got my own royal army with Rita. Even on my own and Honka. I'll leave the rest to you to Chusaku.
Now, as you can see, I've got two videos back to back here. The primary larger video is that of the Blu-ray. I was able to, using certain techniques, back up the entirety of the first disc. It did have quite a few sector read errors, and I used certain softwares, which I won't mention in this video, to make a truncated backup of the disc. The subset smaller video is a favor from a friend. He got me the original videos, which they're rips, so they're not as good as quality, but what I'm doing here is I'm taking the primary video that's truncated and irreparably damaged, and I'm basically splicing in the good data from the rips, and I'll probably remove the audio and the subtitles because they're going to be truncated too, and I'm going to take all of the data from the rips and just basically drop it into those parts. So I'm basically undergoing a repair process to make a archived backup copy of the first disc, and in so doing, I'll watch the archival rather than risk damaging this disc any further. This is gonna be a long and arduous process, this being the first part. Now, as you'll notice in the video, as the truncated data comes in, the audio has desynced, because you could hear the dialogue starting to desync before you see the artifacting going on here. And even at that point, I'm going to splice in the video before the audio desyncs. And I'm going to make multiple videos on this process because I don't want you to sit here throughout this whole 3 hours of episodes and watch me, just like watch it basically, and then splice in the new video. So this is just basically an introduction to what it is that I'm doing here. And for the most part, I'm just taking out the bad data and splicing in subpar rips, but it won't be as noticeable in the whole. The quality slightly less, but yeah. You let me resume this just so you can kind of see where I go with it, and you'll get an idea.
I want you to subdue as many of the enemies you can during the night. Please bring the sauna to me right away.
They have to listen to what you have, right? Please.
Would you stop
Yoko,
that?
it's you. I'm sorry that I shot at you earlier. Please save me.
I said
What
stop
is this
it.
Kaijyaku babbling about? You can beg all you want, but you're not gonna get anything.
You're the queen, right? They have to listen to what you tell them, right? Please.
Would you stop that?
And we'll trim it here, as I believe that's where most of the truncation stops in this section. Like I said, there's multiple scratches on the disc, so there are going to be other points where I will have to do the same thing. I'm saving for good measure. Yeah, the program I'm using, Power Director, tends to get so memory intensive that it will sometimes stop responding, so I'm saving methodically. So I'll delete this and leave the gap. Then we'll take B and drop it right into A. And if all is well, let's actually B here. And let's try this out.
Target return to the main house.
I see. As expected, the British army didn't move.
Yes, it would be difficult to mobilize the Tao's provincial army to capture Shoko.
I doubt my own royal army will move either, even on my orders. Hankyo, I'll leave the rest to you at Jusaku. I want you to subdue as many of the enemies you can during the night.
I thought you did not want to take the lives of people.
I've made up my mind. I have no other choice. You have my official consent. But when it's over, please bring Asano to me right away.
Yoko, it's you. I'm sorry that I shot at you earlier. Please save me.
What is this Kaijyaku babbling about? You can beg all you want, but you're not gonna get anything.
You're the queen, right? They have to listen to what you tell them, right? Please.
Would you stop that? I said stop it.
Seems to have worked quite well. It matches up with the frame rate, the audio, the time scale, everything. Except it's slightly reduced quality. Now, to allay any confusion, I've got, as you can see along the, what do they call this? The work area. I've got two of the same clips. When I'm done splicing all this in, I'm going to drop the second part down here. Because they're both the same episodes. I'm just dropping in the rips and trimming and popping in the ripped episode data where the truncated data is. So upon completion of the project, that second video, I forget what in the work area will be gone. I forget what they call this work area. Yeah, but yeah. So basically, it'll be an arduous process, and I'll probably make multiple videos on this. But it seems to be going along pretty well. And basically, what I'll be doing is I have all of the data that's on the disk. in a folder, and I will re-encode the entire M2TS Blu-ray file with all the new data. Then I will take the audio streams from the rips and add that in to combine it, make sure the times match up, and then combine that into the M2TS via muxing, and then take the subtitles, combine them up, and mux them in. And it's going to take a couple of days, but the end product will be a playable Blu-ray with no skips. And of course, I'll keep that on my hard drive. Not really going to make any copies of it. You know, you're allowed one archival copy for this exact reason, but this is an extremely rare disc, only 1 in 25,000 copies. So my chances of coming across another copy, and at that price, mind you, not very likely. So this is that, you know, that moment where I kick in some of my skills to try and fix it and make an archival copy of it. And of course, if I ever sell this, my archival copy will be deleted. But this is more of like an adventure than like a tutorial video. I'm hoping that if you are watching this, it might give you a good idea of what you might have to do in a similar situation. Perhaps maybe not with anime, but with maybe a movie, a TV show, or a concert disc that you have that's been somewhat damaged or damaged in a similar way. I personally don't know what could cause that kind of damage, what look like scratches but are actually little tiny dots along the in a circular motion. If you happen to know or are familiar with that type of damage, by all means, shoot me something down in the comments. Let me know what kind of damage that is, because I've never seen it before, and it doesn't look like laser burn. It's not a common scratch from an abrasive surface. It's literally a perfect along the circular optics of the disc, and they're little tiny dots. It's really weird. I wish I could get a clear enough picture with the hardware that I have now, but I don't have a decent enough camera to capture the kind of damage that's on the disc without it being an extremely blurry and unfocused photo. But yeah, for now, this will be the first in the series of videos of repairing my Blu-ray disc.